Convo Couch wants to know, why does the police department need more funding?
Well, I'm against militarizing our police, but at the same time, we need to start more civil policing. When we used to have beat cops that would actually walk through the neighborhoods, the people of the neighborhoods actually got to know those officers. They became friends and everything like that. There was less crime rate back then. When we stopped civil policing, our crime rates went up. That's where the funding is.
Explain civil policing. What do you mean when you use that? Do you mean like civilian-led policing, like something like a Michael Woods calling for, or what do you mean by that term?
Civil policing is when the officers actually walk a beat and are being introduced to this community. In other words, they're constantly in contact with the community, and I don't mean driving up and down their streets. I mean actually walking down the sidewalks, you know, saying hi to people when they walk up to them or when they're out in their yards. It's more of a civilized approach. Currently, I mean, nowadays, if you walk outside, even if you're not doing something wrong, you get nervous when you see a cop car. Just because we don't know what the hell they're going to do. And that's another thing about with my accountability bill that I'm currently writing, and I would like to bring into law when I get elected, is the fact that I plan on having a what do they call it? People's grand jury centralized in each county here in Michigan, which gives the people of that county the ability to hold their actual elected officials accountable, literally being able to remove them from office. And this is not the recall system. So they can remove them from office, but they can also hold law enforcement and judges accountable as well. I have currently 2 judges. I don't care if she hears her name on this or not, Lisa Gorsuch, which is one of our most corrupt judges in Oakland County, Michigan. And, you know, I want the people to have the ability to literally hold me accountable. So I'm all for this. And we have we have currently, we have a bunch of police law enforcement shootings going on where people are unarmed and the police are just shooting them. I mean, I've seen videos across the internet where, you know, turn my stomach. So when I started talking about this accountability bill that I want to bring, it literally includes the law enforcement agencies.
So your funding, getting just into funding then specifically, so your funding would go for what? Like, I mean, I'm assuming your funding's not going to go to give a town of 9,000 people a tank.
Exactly. I know I'm against militarizing our police.
So where would the funding go then? Would it go towards better training? Would it go towards better screening? Like give a quick summary on where exactly that would go.
It would go to better training is one of the main things right now, because we need to I mean, we have officers that are, I've actually talked to them. They're afraid to go into some neighborhoods. And I said, well, you shouldn't be a cop. So again, we need better training. We need better community gatherings where the police are involved with these. And I don't mean as protection. I mean as actually talking to the communities. You know, we need community programs that involve law enforcement with the kids of the neighborhood. You know, boys and girls clubs. We have closed schools, buildings that can be utilized as community centers to bring, so kids have places to go. I want law enforcement involved in all aspects of these communities. I want them to know, I want the community to know these are actually men and women here to serve and protect you. At the same time, you know, that they are your community members as well. They're friends of your families. You know, right now, it's been years. We used to see on all our cop cars here in Michigan, it would always say to serve and protect. That is gone from our cars. They do not have these on their cars anymore.
Well, so what are your thoughts on screening then? Because, I mean, I think a lot of times, I mean, obviously there's a huge problem with screening. I mean, we've learned in the past couple of years, there are literally members of the KKK that are police officers. That shouldn't be allowed. And no. You know, I mean, if you're part of this ridiculous racist organization, you know, I mean, the First Amendment does give you the right to do that. However, if your job is to serve and protect, and you don't think all people are worth serving and protecting, you don't get to be a police officer. Similar how a blind person can't drive a cab. So there's a serious issue with screening. So what would you do about that?
Well, that's also part of the thing that I was talking about with law enforcement shootings. You got cops who are fired from one department, they go 6 or 7 counties away and get a job as a law enforcement officer again, or another state. That stuff has to stop. If you've been fired for shooting somebody, I think the screening system has failed. So, you know, this is stuff that I've been talking about. Now, I don't have an answer for everything on that, for a simple fact, I'm still in the learning process of all these issues. But at the same time, I'm willing to listen to this. But you're right, that's all part of the screening system. We need to make sure our officers are screened properly so we don't have these issues.
Hey guys, thanks for watching. That was a clip from Get Your News On with Ron, the world's first viewer-curated streaming news show. What does that mean? That means I log on to a stream and people tweet me articles over on Twitter at Ron Placone, or they use our Reddit subsection, which is just Get Your News On with Ron over on Reddit. And that's how we build the show. I'm seeing all these articles for the first time. We are literally getting our news on together. Follow me on Twitter at Ron Placone so you can participate. And this show streams live every Tuesday through Friday at 10 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. So please do tune in. If you want to support this show, you can do so over on patreon.com/Ron Placone, where for as low as $1 a month, you get access to exclusive podcasts every week, exclusive videos, free tickets to shows when I'm performing in your town, and more for as low as $1 a month. Please do consider it. Thank you so much for your support. This has been Get Your News On with Ron.